Hello, I'm Dr. Jack Hinderman.
And I'm Dr. Jenny Leist.
And we're your family's chiropractor in Dubuque, Iowa. And today we want to share a little message with you about stress. Good?
Sounds good.
Yeah. And we're not talking about the kind of stress where you're sitting at home wanting to pull your hair out.
Nope. Doing chemical stress today.
Yeah, we'll talk about chemical stress. So let's break this down for you. Why would a chiropractor talk about stress? Well, basically, stress, at least negative stress or distress on the body, causes all of the problems that chiropractors take care of.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the cause. When we look at stress chiropractically, or not just chiropractically, I'm going to talk chiropractically though. When we look at stress through a chiropractic lens, it really comes in three different categories. We have our thoughts, traumas, toxins, right? So our physical, chemical, and emotional stress. Today I want to key in more on the chemical side of things. So what happens is when the body becomes overwhelmed by stress in any one of these three categories,
When we're not able to adapt to it.
yeah, it becomes overwhelmed, we're no longer able to adapt to it. What happens is, just like overloading a breaker panel in your house, you're gonna trip a breaker, right? The nervous system has got to shut something down in order to keep things working as well as it possibly can under the circumstances, right? So, smart for the short term,
Detrimental for long.
detrimental for long term. If our goal is long-term health, then it's not good to have breakers shut off. We call that a subluxation when that happens, and that's chiropractically what we're looking for when you come in and we do our evaluations that I shared on the last videos. When we're looking at alignment, when we're looking for fixation and nerve disturbance along the spine, that's how this breaker switch shows up. And we can measure that, and we can find it, and then when we find it and we correct it, it's like removing disturbance or interference in the body, on the nervous system, so that you can now again adapt in the most efficient and effective way possible for survival.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So chemical stress is all around us.
Air, food, chemicals from medicines. Lots.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean we can really break it down. Our food supply, it's loaded with chemicals. So we have petrochemicals on them. We have insecticides, herbicides, our industrial food additives, industrial waste. So we got like heavy metals in the ground all around us. We have our water is
chlorine, fluoride,
very dirty.
etc.
Even fresh water. So our treated water with chlorine and fluoride. The cool thing about chlorine is you can take it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I'm cool with them putting chlorine in the water. I think that was a huge breakthrough. But what's even cooler is that you can take it back out before you consume it. And a charcoal filter will do that. So that can be a chemical stress tip for you. If you're drinking tap water, which is completely cool, is get that chlorine out. The problem is you can't get fluoride out. So it's just ridiculous that they put fluoride in water. Fluoride's an industrial waste, and that's how they get rid of it, is through the water supply. It's highly antimicrobial, which means that it's pretty lethal. It'll kill microorganisms on contact. That's why dentists like to use it in your mouth. Have you ever had a fluoride treatment at the dentist?
Yeah, because I used to have groundwater at home, so they said that I had to have it.
Okay, so here, check this out. What's their number one instruction when they give you a fluoride treatment? How does that go?
Don't swallow it.
Don't swallow it. They don't tell you to swallow it, but yet we're putting it in our water supply and we're swallowing it. It's not intended to be swallowed. When they say that dentists recommend fluoride in water, they really don't.
Yeah.
They can understand the value in fluoride for killing microorganisms in the teeth that cause dental caries, but most of them would agree that it's probably not a good idea to drink the stuff. Okay, but anyway, I'm off my fluoride kick for right now. The hard thing about fluoride is it's really, really hard to get out of the water. reverse osmosis is one of the best ways to do it. Reverse osmosis and distillation gets fluoride out. But the problem there is with those, you're taking everything out. And it would be, in the most ideal world, we would be able to drink our tap water that's got the natural minerals in it without being loaded with other chemicals. But at any rate, so that's a secret tip right there, is let's get rid of the chlorine when all possible. We don't need to be drinking any extra chlorine. So yeah, it's in our water supply. In fact, our water supply globally has become so polluted that it's almost impossible to eat a fish that doesn't have some sort of a heavy metal contained in it, particularly mercury. Which again, mercury is kind of a side effect of like coal burning and things like that. So it's all around us. So it's safe to say that without adding any extra chemicals to our body through diet and processed foods and vaccines and medications, without adding any of that extra stuff in, we're pretty much
still living in a world that's polluted.
Yeah, we're pretty much in a more so toxic environment. It's kind of like, if I wasn't around really in the 70s, but in the 70s the Great Lakes were dying off. You ever hear about that? So polluted that they were dying off. Like fish were, having tumors, and their, wildlife, aquatic animals, and birds particularly were laying eggs that weren't viable, weren't hatching properly, and the way that they cleaned that up to a degree that they were sustaining life instead of killing it off is stopped polluting it. They didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to go and put like little drugs in the water. Okay, the fish are sick and have tumors, so let's cut all the tumors out, put drugs in the water. They didn't have to do any of that. What they had to do was stop polluting it. So, a little rant, got a little excited there. So at any rate, I want to close down with one more little health tip. It's not just about what we're getting too much of in terms of toxicity, but it's really also about the deficiency that we carry. We're just not getting enough of certain things. So I would say one big tip for you guys out there in Facebook and YouTube land that are watching this video is instill a very simple strategy to make small changes. And one of the easiest ways to make a small change is by addition, not by subtraction. So right now, I'm sure if your families, like my family and many other families out there, we are definitely eating things that are known to not probably be the best things to be eating. But what we do is we always have enough like fresh produce around that we go for the the whole fresh fiber first mentality. Which means that before you grab that cookie, eat a carrot stick, right? That's a big tip that we got back there. And it's an easy one to do. So here's your game plan, ready? Have fresh produce on hand so that you can start taking in those live foods, them vitamins, minerals, those high vibratory foods that are going to help keep you healthy.
Stuff that's loaded with good stuff.
Stuff that's loaded with good stuff. What that's going to do is going to help your body adapt as well. And don't forget your chiropractic adjustments. You're going to absolutely need them just because of the stress load that our bodies are under. It's almost impossible to get away from life in terms of physical, chemical, and emotional stress. But it's the little things that are done most frequently that are going to make a bigger change than making a big change like this big New Year's resolution that lasts 2 weeks versus doing something as simple as fresh fiber first and doing it for a lifetime. So that's your tip for today. If you want to stay connected with us, you can like our Facebook page. You can join our circles on Google. You can
check us out on YouTube.
Check us out on YouTube. If you have any questions about anything we talked about, or if you currently do not have a chiropractor and you are looking to create health for yourself and your family, feel free to give us a call at 556-6921, and Casey would be sure happy to talk to you and explain to you how we can get you on the road to better health. So again, I'm Dr. Jack Hinderman.
And I'm Dr. Jenny Leist.
And we look forward to connecting with you soon.